welcome back to RealTalk.
Hey.
So it's been a little hot minute. We've been crazy busy, but we're always busy. So I guess we want to talk this week about money.
Yes, and we're trying this new thing where we actually record every week now. So we'll actually push out the podcast every week, which will be nice. Yeah. But I just thought, because honestly, I just got into my career essentially, and I just graduated, and I honestly have never been very good with money.
I don't think age has anything to do with that.
Yeah.
I think that so many people, I have a coach, I'm in a coaching program, and the head of the coaching program focuses on money so much, making sure we all have our stuff in a line, and part of that is doing my personal budget. And I think that's something that not only scares people from a education standpoint, but also just knowing where your money's going.
Oof.
Right?
Yeah.
I heard a quote the other day that said, money is an evil mistress. If you neglect her, she'll walk away.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so true.
It is so true, right? If you don't know where you're spending your money or where it's going, and I'm so bad about it.
Oh my God.
My coach last month literally, so I turn in my budget every month, and I just, roughly I spend this much. Roughly I, spend this much at the grocery store. And my biggest thing is eating out, right? DoorDash, or he literally made me go to the penny as to what I spend on clothes and food, and I was like, no wonder I'm broke, right?
Oh, God.
We spend so much on food.
Yeah, food specifically. You're so right about that.
So I think knowing where you spend your money is powerful.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah. So one thing I want to offer to all of our viewers is a spreadsheet we have that we use in the core. I'm in the core training, and a coaching program is obviously for real estate to help me grow my business, but it's also to get my shit together.
Honestly, I went to that summit, and even just from what I learned there was amazing. So you probably have all of these amazing tools that you've been utilizing,
and you're welcome to them, and I'm happy to share that with anybody. But it's simple and basic, but once you start using it, it's amazing. So it's and I think what people don't understand is, when you talk about savings, right? And Rick has helped me learn about the stock market. And I think that overwhelms people, because you sit and you think oh gosh, the stock market, that's for super wealthy people, or that's for people that have a lot of money. Yeah. But it's not. Right? So, one thing you and I have kind of talked about is you getting into the stock market. Or my son's 12, and he has an investment account.
That's crazy. And
he legit has it on his phone. He gets in there every day, and he will watch the stock market. Yeah. And it's not a lot of money, okay? It's
something though.
100%. But I tell you, that kid is going to have money when he's older, because he literally saves every penny. He borrowed $50. I borrowed $50 from him because he has cash, and I needed cash. I never had cash. And he was like, Mom, you owe me $50. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, I'll get it from the bank. He's like, no, just put it in my LPL account. And I was like, okay. And so I could just transfer it into his account, and almost every day he's like, the stock market's up, or he's like, I made $20 in the stock market, or he'll get mad. He'll be like, the market's down,
That's so funny. He's like a man,
he is. And he's 13, 14. He's 14.
You 12, 13, 14.
Listen, 12, 13, 14. But,
yeah. My sister, when she was younger, she saved better than I did. She's younger than me, and she's always been better with money than me, and I'll admit that, because I'm a spender. I have I know how to save, but I don't know how to keep that saved money in a place where I won't look at it, because if I have something, I'm like, oh my God, well, I could do this because I have this, She my parents would owe her money because they would take cash from her and stuff for things, and she'd be like, okay, so Dad, you owe me $100, and I'm like, how do you like have the capacity for that young? But like, I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter about age.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. And that's, I mean, I'm still trying to learn, you know, where my money goes, because I'm just, you know, they say ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. But it's not. It's knowing where your money goes. So, you know, let's talk about like the rule of money and how often money doubles, right? And so, and I think it's never too late, right?
Yeah.
It's obviously better to start younger. But money doubles every 10 years.
Okay.
Right? So for you, as young as you are, like if you were to start saving now, if you were able to, and I think a fantastic, you know, I have my money with financial advisor and an LPL account, but you could easily open up a Robinhood account, which I don't know if you've seen that movie where it was GameStop. You have to watch it, where like the GameStop stock like crashed, so everybody had their account with a Robinhood account. It's very easy, very inexpensive to open. If you were to save $300 a month and just put that, I mean, you don't have to be with a company that has a 401k. You could actually probably earn money quicker if you were to take $300 a month and put it in an account, a Robinhood account, and let your money grow in the stock market, put it in the S&P 500, and in 40 years, that $300 a month, because money doubles every 10 years, is going to grow to $2.4 million.
Which, I mean, that just seems unfathomable right now. But I mean, and that's the thing, like $300 does seem like a lot.
Seems like a lot.
But I mean, when it comes to, you know, thinking about like your future and taking care of yourself and stuff, I think that's, I mean, just even you bringing it up just now, I mean, it makes me think about like, I mean, I have a Vanguard account right now.
Okay.
And I put $100 a week or every 2 weeks into it. But I mean, if I can think of another way
so
to
you're
invest,
like halfway there, you know?
pretty
what I mean?
much, yeah. So,
I mean, and that's huge, right? Even that, like, if that's, I don't know what that's, is that going into like an IRA or?
I'm not sure. I all I know is that it just gets taken out and I don't see it.
It's going in there, yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I have to have, you know, or else I'm like, I would never like go and spend a bunch of money, like thousands of dollars on something. Yeah. But I mean, just slowly goes away, you know.
No, so. And that's so smart, like that at your age that you're already thinking of like saving and retiring, because I think of that a lot of people don't think about that.
No, and it's thanks to my dad, and it's thanks to you, and like this, you know, that seminar again, like it honestly kind of lit a fire under my butt, because I was like, I mean, what am I doing, you know? So I mean, I'm a young adult, and I feel like you have to start. Well,
we have, you know, again, taught from the core, kind of there's 4 ways of building wealth and preparing yourself for retirement, right? So it's the wealth accumulator, and first is your primary investment, right? I think that is one of the quickest ways to build wealth and invest in yourself, right? And we all know, I mean, regardless of what housing market looks like currently, I think that building equity in your primary investment is the quickest way to build wealth. Right? So when you're looking at purchasing a home, you probably need to purchase a home that's 3 times your income. So that's what you need to be in, right? So if you make $90,000 a year, multiply that by 3, that's usually what you need to be in. And a lot of people are most likely sitting on too much equity. So, and I think that, you know, right now people are married to their interest rates. So they're like, oh, but I'm sitting on, you know, 2% rate, but they're also sitting on, you know, $200,000-$300,000 in equity that's just sitting there not doing anything. Right? And so they're so scared of that 6% rate that could be on their next home, because they won't give up that 2% rate that they have, that all this equity that they're sitting on is literally not doing anything. Where that money could be in the stock market making so much more money from them them, but they're literally married to this interest rate and they're losing money.
That's what you tell our clients
all the time.
You know, like when they're thinking of selling, or that, you know, it's what you tell them all the time. I've heard it come out of your mouth, you know, and that's so important. It's
so important. So that's the first section. There's 4 sectors. That's your primary investment.
Okay.
The second is going to be your 401k. You want to max out your 401k, or making sure that you're saving money in a Robinhood account or something like that.
Yeah.
The fourth is going to be making sure you have some liquid reserves. You want to make sure that you have at least $10,000 in liquid reserves for emergency funds that come up, right? We always want to make sure we have some sort of liquid cash. And then the fourth sector is putting money in the stock market. And that's where not sitting on all that equity, right? Because this is where we actually are able to grow. So ideally, you have money in a primary investment where you're growing equity, and then you also have money in the stock market, so your money's growing in 2 different places.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're scared to invest in the stock market, you don't know a lot about the stock market, really the safest is the S&P 500, which that is just a bunch of it's 500 companies, so it's a bunch of little pieces from a whole bunch of different companies that have the largest return time over time, right? And so it's safe. It's a super, super safe investment. And what's nice about the S&P is, you know, if you don't have a lot of money, you can buy like a half of a share or a fourth of a share.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you want to kind of get out and get a little bit more creative, and you kind of want to say like, oh, that's a little boring, you want to get a little more, you know, Rick always says invest in essential stocks, right? Okay. Stocks that we know aren't really going anywhere, but we have to have, which would be like travel, right? People fly every day, right? Or people drive every day, or Apple, like you look around in a restaurant, everybody's got an Apple
everywhere.
Just stocks that we know people have to have.
Okay.
Or like he says, stocks that you know you love, right? Like you and I love some Lululemon, or you know.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. You can invest in your favorite companies.
Your favorite companies, yeah. If you kind of want to venture out from the S&P, so
it's very interesting because I was never taught any of this. Like I had no idea what S&P 500 was, honestly, until until I got it explained to me. And I mean, it just seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I want to do it right now because
you're like, let me go
invest in Starbucks or something, like,
right? Yeah.
Or Dunkin'. Yeah, I mean, I'm at Dunkin' every day, so
see, you might as well start paying yourself back.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm like, hey, I'm already giving them so much money, I might as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's important. I mean, like we've been saying, you know, nobody wants that fear of not having enough, you know, especially the liquid, you know.
Well, like having that liquid cash, and you know, and I think so. It's funny. Katie's challenged me too. Like, you know, she's actually the one that got me to kind of. I have my accounts, you know, my accounts that I have access to, and then I've taken the majority of my money and put it in the stock market, and I obviously have access to that. But what's good is it's like we laugh and joke because I'm like, oh, if I overspend, I have to call Scott. And it's like it used to be, I had access to my accounts, and I had money in my little savings account, and then it was so easy to like just transfer money over.
Yep, that's what I do.
It's different when you actually have to pick up the phone and be like, hey, can you transfer some money?
Yeah.
You know, it's embarrassing, right? Yeah. And so when I start to see my accounts run low, then it's like, oh, I need to stop.
I need to chill. Yeah.
Who do I think I am? Like, I'm a Paris Hilton.
I know we were talking about like fall shopping because it's fall time now, and I mean the weather hasn't changed, but you know, once it gets colder weather, I mean, we love sweaters, but if you have enough sweaters, maybe only get one this season or something. You know?
And then, you know, when Patrick made me go through and actually like know what I was spending, and I was not close. I was not. I was like thinking I was spending this, but then I was really spending this, and I was like, Oh.
Disgusting. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, no.
That's really, no. Yeah.
Money's a cruel mistress.
It's accountability.
Yes.
Accountability is one of the most important things just in life, but especially with money.
She will leave you if you don't.
She will.
Show her some love.
She won't come. She'll come back, maybe, but then she'll go away again.
Yes, a cruel mistress that will leave you.
I like that metaphor.
Yeah, I was like, oh, let's see where that bitch is at.
I think honestly, I think that we definitely should encourage everybody to do what you're doing, and now you're gonna teach me.
It's not easy, and my kids hate it because they're like, we're on a budget, and they're like, but an Amazon box just arrived, and I'm like, I know, it's got to go back.
Amazon is another animal in itself. Oh my god, the amount of money that my family has probably spent on that website is.
That one click needs to be illegal. It's got, like, seriously, that's not okay.
Yeah. You need to have the whole thing, like, are you sure you want to spend $100 on this? Are you sure you want to do this?
It's like when you're on a diet and you got to put, like, pictures of bikinis on your fridge or something. You know what I mean?
Like, this is what I need. I need visual motivation. Yeah. You do not need this.
Bitch, you're broke, you know?
Exactly. You don't got the money for this.
Right?
You don't need this.
Right.
Oh my god, I swear, we have an Amazon package every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Invest in Amazon for real, honestly.
That's an essential stock.
That is.
It's not going away.
No.
It's not going away.
Never.
Safe investment. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna start doing that now, actually.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, and it's fun. Like, if you can get more addicted to that than to the shoes or the shopping or this, it's almost like if you can shift that high and to seeing the account and to seeing the money in your account growing, then that's kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah,
and I was going to ask, like, how do you get away from that temptation of, you know, spending or whatever? Because it's a real thing. I mean,
it is a real thing.
We're all spenders. We all, like, want things. And
yeah, listen, I'm still learning, and I still struggle with it, and because it is, especially, you know, it's almost like emotional eating, or you know, it's you know, you find little justifications or little reasons, like, oh, I'm gonna celebrate this closing, or I'm gonna celebrate this, or this down, or, you know, whatever.
Yes, I'm gonna get myself a little sweet treat or something like that.
Correct.
It gives you dopamine.
It does, 100%.
Yeah. It's like, you know, it's like scrolling on social media. It's like it gives you we were just talking about it, like that little scroll. It's like that little tap of the card. You know, you get your little item that just gives you dopamine.
It gives you that little hit. Yeah, it's again, I think that the more you do it, and the more you can take the emotion out of it, and honestly, truly getting real with yourself and doing a budget once or twice, and actually seeing the real numbers and seeing what you're actually spending. Yeah. Because when I wasn't honest with myself, and I was just, oh, I'm just spending, let's say, this amount, and then, you know, my coach was like, okay, nobody spends, you know, exactly this amount, like, you don't have any cents, you know, like 23 cents or 43, like, I want your real numbers, and you actually have to go through. So I spend everything on a credit card, and then I pay that credit card off. Yeah. So I had to go through my credit cards and actually. Yeah. And then when I totaled up the numbers, and I was like, shit, like, is that just 1 month's worth? And then it was like, oh. And then the other thing too, which was really good, was I found subscriptions that I had been paying. Yeah. That you had no idea about. I had no idea. And charges on my card that were being hit that I was like, I mean, you saw me, I spent like half a day at work calling places. You're like, I didn't buy this. What is going on? And so how long has that been happening? Yeah. That I just been paying shit out, you know? Yeah. I mean, I see ads for like Rocket Money or whatever it is all the time, or whatever that app is, where you can see the subscriptions that you had no idea. You honestly, like, that's probably smart to look at too. Yeah. And I think just in regards to that first budget, I think that, at least for me, and I think for a lot of people, just that initial, for me, like, in order for me to get motivated to do something, I just have to do that initial first step. Like, you have to physically do a first step in order to I mean, it's the simplest thing, but it's so true. It is so true. So I think, you know, that first budget just has to happen. It's gonna happen.
And then, you know, it might be very painful. It might be I might be like, Hannah, what the hell's wrong with you?
Well, and I find myself now like kind of second guessing things where before I would just be like, it's only $23. And now I'm like, that's $23.
$23. That's exactly what it is. It's like,
you know?
I still have that mindset of like, it's only like $15, but $15 can add up if you pay $15 every single day or something like that.
Well,
so.
you know, I used to go to Starbucks like literally every day. And I was like, it's only like $8. And now I'm like, that's like $8.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly.
Like, so now I make coffee at home.
Yes. It might be sad. You might be like, but I want my little flavor or whatever.
No.
But you can find everything at 100%. The grocery store and you can make it at home.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Like I told you today, sometimes I don't eat lunch because I don't want to go buy lunch.
Yeah.
You know?
You could just make it.
Just make it at home.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's a struggle. But when you look at, you know, I don't want to work forever. I want to retire.
Yeah, everybody does.
You know?
Yeah.
And it is... When you look at, you know, $300 a month sounds like a lot. Okay, let's even break that down to, you know, $150 a month. That still equates to, you know, close to $1 million. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's a lot of money just for, okay, $300 a lot. Yeah, that might sound like a lot, but we spend that.
Yeah. Oh,
we easily spend that.
You could spend that on a Saturday.
Correct.
Easily.
Or even eat now. I mean, you can't eat out lunch for less than like $25.
I went to dinner with my friend the other day and it was like $40 for a margarita and a meal.
Correct.
And I was like,
so we can find $300 a month like that.
Simple. Yeah. Honestly, I would rather do that than, I mean, yes, it is fun to go out to dinner and sure you can still prioritize that, like, you know, but just it's so God.
Simple. Yeah.
So simple.
So anyway, if you guys would like our spreadsheets and even like maybe a little class on how to do it, because I'll be totally transparent, it's taken me a hot minute to learn it. I'm going to go through it with Hannah, teach her how to do it. I still have a ton of questions for my coach. I literally was texting him before this call. But it's helpful. I don't care how big your budget is, how small your budget is. It's good to be on a budget, and retirement's important.
Yeah, I mean, that could even be an event, like you could do an online event or something.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Zoom
a seminar.
call and I can go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So let us know if you guys want to see that.
Yeah. If you have questions or topics that you want us to talk about, doesn't matter if it's real estate related, dating, anything. We're happy to talk about it. We are an open book.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
let us know.
Thank you guys.